What up, YouTube? Coming at y'all with another BMX video. So I just wanted to talk about the 93 Performer a little bit. So if you guys been watching my previous videos, I'm pretty sure you already know I got an all original 94 GT Performer already. Everything original on that bike, from the tires to the grips. Like, I bought it from the original owner. When got it from him many years ago. It was one of them situations, probably when he was a kid. Maybe he played sports, maybe he got in trouble a lot, or maybe he stayed somewhere where he couldn't really ride his bike like that. Either way, he didn't ride that bike like that, so it didn't have much wear. So I leave that bike uh pretty much all original. I don't change anything on that bike unless it's something that need to be changed, like tires and things that dry rot or things like that. But for the most part, I'm leaving that bike alone. So my concept for this bike was, although it's a 93 frame, a 93 frame and a 94 frame is pretty much identical. It was just pretty much the accessory that they put on them that made them different. Really, just the wheels and the decals. But anyway, I built this bike as a 94, so I was pretty much able to spec it off the other bike. But my goal for this bike, or concept rather, was to make this bike look like it could have came like this from the factory. So I got a 93 color on it with 94 decals. So I basically want to make it look like it came from the factory that way, but I want to accessorize it with catalog parts. So aftermarket catalog, GT catalog parts, to where it looked like, the bike that they show in the catalog that displays the parts you could get. So, for example, as you can see, I put a three-piece crank on it. I put GT pegs on it. That's pretty much all I did to it. But other than that, I've been thinking about doing a few other things. So when I was a kid, I was like 12 or 13. I already told the story already. I restored a GT. That was my first GT ever. About 15 minutes of being on it, I got robbed for it by some adults. Like, most people get their bike stolen, out their garage, or they left it out in the yard, somebody stole it. Or they, when the store came out, it was gone. Some adults actually ran up on me and took the bike from me. So it took me a long time to get over that. So I didn't get back into GTs till some years later. But anyway, long story short, on that bike, it was kind of built the way I'm describing, and it had one of those the sprockets with the big GT logos, like the big old GT on it. So you remember in the 80s they had the one with the big bubble font GT with the wings on it. So in the 90s they made one that had the newer style GT logo, like this one right here. So that's what I'm thinking about putting on this bike, because that would have been a factory accessory. Also, I'm thinking about putting a double seat clamp. So it's basically the same seat clamp, but it's the double version that would have been on like a Pro Performer or Pro Freestyle Tour or whatever. And something I get into it with people all the time about, like, a lot of people don't know this, which is surprising. A 93 and 94 GT Performer came with a dyno stem factory. They will argue you down, oh no, it had a GT. No, they came like this from the factory. You can look in the catalog. They came with damn dyno stems. That's what they came with. Um, but something I've been really thinking about doing, that I'm really considering, I've been thinking about getting a 95 GT Performer stem, because they were engraved with the GT logo, and polishing it out just like this one, like making it all polished and nice, and putting that on here. Just, it'll be different. I think I've seen it done before, not a lot. Like, a lot of people just go with something way different, period. But that would make it still look original, especially to somebody who just don't know. It would look original, and it'll have a GT logo. So I've been thinking about doing that. So that's something cool too. Also, as I said, I'm going to change the front brake to a Bulldog front brake. Um, Something I was looking at actually last night. I was looking at, maybe this morning or last night, but either way, I was looking in the GT catalog at the Pro Freestyle Tours, and they came with big bower brakes. So that's something else I would do, is put a big bow on the front, just to make it a little different, kind of give it like pro freestyle tour vibes, but I want it to look like, like I said, like factory accessories, not just like some Amazon crazy, random accessories. I want it to look like I bought a bike, new in 1994, and then got the catalog and start ordering parts for it. That's kind of the look I'm going for with this bike. Far as the grips, I'm hoping I can run across some fairly priced GT flangeless grips. I did find some, the Amy ones, but they kind of, the old stuff be cracked and things like that. I found some that's missing the end caps. I mean, they don't come with end caps, but the ends are blew out. So what I was thinking about doing, because they look like they're in good shape, besides the ends being blew out, is getting those and putting GT end caps on them. But yeah, I'm still kind of working it out in my head. But like I say, like I'm doing my research, trying to figure out, you know, factory accessories, like factory things you could have got out the book back in the day. So that's what I want to do, and then I could put them together, and it'd be cool to to compare the two to see, like, original versus one that was accessorized, and just like almost like my own catalog. But yeah, just wanted to give y'all a little update on the 93 Performer, just some mods I want to do to it. But yeah, all right, y'all.